Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC, a weekly podcast and YouTube channel discussing everything Wrexham from the point of view of long-term fans and brand new fans like my wife. So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 17. We've got a lot to get through this week, so
we do, yep.
Crack on then.
Shall we?
So we'll start with the Aldershot game. It's quite fun this week, wasn't it?
It was fun. Do you want to tell them why it was fun, Ryan?
Yes. So this week we had a fan cam. We did. So basically, you'll notice in the documentary, for everyone who's watched it, there are little bits where the fans are sort of filming themselves at games and stuff like that. And they're doing that with fan cams, which are basically given out by the people who make the documentary.
Yep.
You film yourself during the game. They take the camera back and then basically they might use some of the footage. They might use none of what you've done. But we got to do that yesterday.
We did, yeah.
It was really fun.
It was fun.
I quite like filming myself. So,
yeah, you did, really.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I think the game yesterday, maybe it lacked a little bit of sort of the excitement that some of the other games maybe did.
Yeah.
There was a lot of periods where you felt like you were filming yourself and you were just going, and nothing really much was happening. And you sort of hoped for maybe a few more goals or a few more incidents or just something that you could film. But fingers crossed, hopefully our footage might get used in the documentary.
I think at one point you filmed me singing.
I
can't remember what song it was, but yeah. So I'm hoping to God that does not get into the documentary because you will all just...
Yeah. It was fun. It was really good fun. We noticed there was somebody put something out on Twitter, didn't we? And then we messaged them back and we said, we'd love to do it. And it was really good fun. So if anybody gets a chance to do it, I would highly recommend it.
Definitely.
Changes your whole experience of the game a little bit, doesn't it? You think it would ruin it in a way because you're constantly holding a camera, but it didn't, did it? It was I enjoyed it.
I think you enjoyed it a little bit too much.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I might start carrying a camera around just for everyday life. Yeah, because it was fun. So about the game, so we had Hayden back.
We did.
Big difference, I thought.
Massive difference.
Yeah. So we got a little bit more detail as to why he was out. He was warming up for the Wealdstone game, and he had a little bit of a tight hamstring. So we've got a bit of strength in depth, and we could do that. Even though we discussed it was a little bit of a strange decision with who they decided to bring in because they brought Tom O'Connor in.
But obviously now we know why.
Yeah, but we don't really know why he decided on Tom O'Connor over recognised defenders. But we know the reason why Hayden was out. But
I'm glad they put him out, to be honest, or kept him off, because we don't want the same thing to happen like last season, and he was out for a few months of the last season.
Last couple of months, maybe 6 weeks of the regular season.
Probably the most important 6 weeks of the season, really.
And we definitely missed him. We definitely did. But talking about injuries, because we do have the odd few injuries sort of popping up here and there. So we had Bryce yesterday. He's obviously coming back from an injury. Mm-hmm. And he only managed half the game, unfortunately for him. So it'd be nice to sort of keep him on the pitch for a little bit longer.
To be fair, the time that he was on the pitch, he worked his little butt off, to be fair.
He did. He was really good yesterday. And I do feel a bit sorry for him, really, because he's come back from an injury and now he's picked up another little injury. And fingers crossed for him that's not too long of an injury. Just a little
niggle.
It is. But again, a little bit of a strange decision, I thought, because we obviously had McAlinden on the bench. Yep. McAlinden came on. We've discussed this last week. Left footer.
Played a corker as well.
He was all right, but I'm still a little bit confused why Rhys-Hall Johnson isn't coming in, because he was on the bench last week, wasn't on the bench this week.
No.
Maybe if he was on the bench, he might have come on, but sometimes I'm a little bit confused. I don't really consider McAlinden as a defender. And I know they're not. Are they defenders? Are they midfielders? Let's not bring up the whole, is it 3-5-2, 5-3-2 conversation all over again.
God, can you imagine?
But yeah, I'm not sure. I think if Rhys-Hall Johnson's fully fit, I'm a bit just slightly confused why he's not in that team.
There'll be a reason why.
But he's not.
There'll be a reason why.
We obviously missed Anthony Ford, I think.
We
did.
Irish Anthony Ford, which I never knew.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Again, there's quite a bit of competition for that sort of right wing back spot. So you've got Bryce, left-footed but plays on the right, likes to cut inside. That's why they play him on the right. You've got McAlinden, who plays there. You've got Rhys-Hall Johnson, and you've got Anthony Ford as well. So you've got 4 players who can play in that position. Probably a little bit, as you would say, overstocked in that area, maybe. Although McAlinden can play in other areas as well. He's played in midfield before. He can play on the left. Hosanna can obviously play on the left as well because he's left-footed. But out of them 4 players, if they're all fit, who plays? Ford, yeah? For you?
Yeah, for me at the moment, Ford. I think he's definitely shown his abilities and just running up and down, he's just, he's good. I like him.
I don't always agree with you, as you know, but on this, I do. I think Anthony Ford's the one that comes into that position. I think he's very much made it his own since he come in. And for me, I think it'd be tough to not have him in the team if he was fully fit, which he's obviously not at the moment, but...
Yeah, but I mean, no offence to Bryce or anything like that, but he is, don't get me wrong, Bryce is really, he's amazing in what he does. And he played really, really well on Saturday.
Yeah, for the half he was on.
But I think we are missing Ford a little bit.
I think we're missing a little bit of experience in that area because, Ford's obviously a little bit older. Bryce is still quite young. And sometimes what I find with Bryce, and this isn't knocking him in any way, because he's quite young, whenever he gets the ball, he always looks a touch nervous to have
he did
the ball.
Yesterday, to be fair,
And I think that's just something that will come with experience and time. And I think he's a very good player. I just hope he doesn't get sort of disillusioned with the lack of game time that he might have at the club. Because I think he's a good player to have around, gain experience, and I think he'll be a good player for us in the future.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Sam Dalby will. I hope he doesn't get disillusioned with the amount of game time he's getting. Again, I think he's going to be a very good player moving forward.
I think in that regard, if you are coming on in the 60th, 70th minute or whatever, I think you should go on as if you are starting from the start. And give you all, and then,
That's what you want from subs, though. You want them to come on, and you want them to play. Like, we spoke about Jordan Davis a few weeks ago when he came on, and he wasn't in a mood, that he hadn't been playing. He just come on and he did his job, and he was very good at what he did.
He was grown up about it and not...
He was, and I think that's what you just need. You need professionalism from players,
don't
you? And you want them to come on, and you want them to, to do their job.
Smash the time that they've got, exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Just another injury watch talk. So we got Mendy, who is back in full training.
Cool, yeah.
So he will be due back very soon.
Gone past the 6 weeks, though, that they said.
Yes, definitely. I think we're up to about 8 weeks maybe now. But I think we mentioned one of the games recently. I said, it's 6 weeks now. That might have been Wealdstone, actually. So I think we're up to just past 7 weeks now. So by the time he plays again, if he plays this Saturday, it'll be 8 weeks in total. And I think, again, he's another one we've missed. But you've got Fads who's come in.
Oh, my God.
And he's played amazing.
He has played amazing.
So, he's been really good. Another question then. When Mendy's fully fit, who'd you start with?
Well, for me, I am going to say McFadzean. Purely because he's been there from the start of my experience. And he has definitely... He's just shown just how good he is. He actually is. These past few games, he's been. I mean, I've seen on the socials that he's been a lot of people's man of the match.
He's been. Do you know what? He has been very good.
He has been good
recently.
And you think, considering he's just had a baby, you think he would have been, literally taking his eye off the ball.
Nah, but you'll be glad to get out of the house, wouldn't he? You'll be first at training, last to leave.
Yeah. For any of those who have had children, you'll understand.
Yeah. No, I think if Mendy does a full week of training this week, I think it's an awkward one, because for me, if it was a league game next week, Mendy was fully fit, he'd done a week of training, I'd stick with McFadzean, I think.
Definitely, because he's shown his worth. Definitely.
And then I'd get, and then maybe bring Mendy on for half an hour, maybe at the end. The fact that it's a cup game, I think it's an awkward one, because a cup game, you could be excused switching things up a little bit for a cup game. So maybe Mendy comes in, or maybe you do that. Maybe you just stick with a similar sort of team, and then you bring sort of Mendy in give him 20 minutes at the end. What happens after that, I don't know. I think Phil obviously knows McFadzean quite well. He's been, they played together before. Yep. And I think, he does like him. He sees something in him, which we all do. But I think Mendy's certainly got the pace over McFadzean. He's definitely got pace. He's got.
I think he's.
He has. There's no question.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay, you do that. But,
I will.
And then I think he's just got a slightly quicker touch as well. The defender, I don't think either of them are amazing defenders. Let's say it like that. I don't think Mendy or McFadzean. They're both very good going forward. I think maybe McFadzean edges it on the defender side of things, but I don't think either of them are amazing defenders. That's not been horrible. I just think there's better defenders out there. Defenders, not attackers.
Okay.
Yeah. But what did you think of the game as a whole?
You know me, I love every game. And the fact that we have got 3 points again, and we are top of the league. Oh, we are top of the league. We are top of the league.
You said you were going to start
with that.
That's what
I was going to start with. Completely forgot. Anyway, we're top of the league.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Back where we belong. And I just, the game was I just love it. Every single game I go to, I just absolutely love it. Win, lose or draw.
Yeah. I think you said, I made a bit of a note during the game. I said that we didn't really get out of first gear at times.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, no, I disagreed with myself later on, because I didn't. It wasn't really the point I wanted to put across. Let's say we've got 6 gears. Yeah. I definitely think we didn't get very far past third gear, but I don't think that was because of any sort of complacency or anything like that. I just don't think there was any real need to. I think we very much managed the game and the opponents that were in front of us without putting in maximum effort, I would say. So, yeah, I think it would have been the reason I took that note out is it was a bit unfair to say we didn't get out of first gear, but we definitely didn't get much past third or fourth gear.
But like you said, maybe that's because Aldershot didn't, they didn't get out of first gear, maybe.
They're poor. They're
Do you know what, though? To be fair to the goalkeeper, I think he did all right.
Yeah, the goalie made a couple of decent saves, to be honest.
You kind of want, don't you, from a goalie?
Yes, yeah, you do. And I think defensively they were quite soft. They had a couple of quick lads though. Effiong's obviously
Wow,
he's a beast, isn't he?
He is. I thought Ollie Palmer was a beast, but my God, he is like.
Yeah, Effiong he's a big lad, and because we saw him warming up, and you went, look at the size of him. He is a big lad,
and he was quite far away from us, and he was still really big.
He was quite far away, but he looked like he was about 5 foot in front of us because he was massive. But I think I haven't really analysed Aldershot very, very much. But I'm guessing a lot of his goals are in the air. Because, he's one of them old-fashioned strikers. He's just a bit of a bully. He'll try and climb all over you a little bit. And, I think Hayden did well. He kept him in check yesterday. And I think, if you imagine Tom O'Connor coming in for Hayden, I think that would have been a bit of a nightmare, if you're pairing him up against sort of O'Connor. Because me personally, if I was Effiong as a striker going on, looking at a back three, and Tom O'Connor's there, I'm thinking, I'm sitting on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No. I know
I think that's allowed in football.
That is again, that's terminology.
Okay.
You're very much sitting on that player. I won't say it again. If you're just going to laugh over me, I'm not going to say it. But I'm going to place myself there.
Yeah.
And then that's where I'm going. Yeah, very much so. You made a comment yesterday which made me laugh a little bit.
Oh, God. Do you know what?
No.
I say that many stupid points, I can't even remember which one it was.
It's not a stupid point. It was quite a well-made point, really.
Okay.
Shocking. And I'm not going to pick the people out in particular, but you did comment on the fitness/physique of one or two of the Aldershot players, didn't you?
I did.
They had some very fit sort of young players who were full of running. They did have one or two. What would you say it? Say it politely. I won't name them, but they had some bigger fellas, didn't they?
Just bigger fellas.
Bigger fella.
Yeah.
And you were asking how are these playing football, because they looked a little bit overweight. Shall we say?
Because you just, from my opinion, from my perspective, obviously as a new football fan, all that kind of stuff, I always think, that footballers, they have to be ripped, fit.
Yeah.
They can last the 90 minutes. And thinking about it now, you don't necessarily have to be stick thin, buff to be able to run for 90 minutes. So.
But to be fair, though, the player you did pick out, he had a pretty decent game.
Exactly.
He did play the full 90 minutes, and to be honest, he was an all right player. But I think what you're talking about is the perception of players a little bit is like you've seen Premier League games over and over again, and the sort of
you've got the six pack.
But but now it's maybe 15, 20 years ago, you would have seen more players like that in the National League.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. That's why they stand out a little bit, because a lot of them are as consummate a professional as Premier League players are.
Yeah.
Certainly Wrexham players, people with the facilities and the money to actually put into stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so. But yeah, you did pick them. You did pick him out. It was quite funny. I quite enjoyed it. So just a quick one before we move on. Jordan Davis. So he didn't play again.
No, he didn't at all.
He didn't. No. So how do you feel about Elliot Lee sort of playing over Jordan Davis at the moment?
I don't really have an opinion with him playing over Jordan Davis.
No.
But obviously, again, Jordan Davis, he's been there from the start. But I do think Elliot Lee gives it his all, and he was. I think it was him that I mentioned that he was like. Oh no, it wasn't. It was James Jones. I said was like a ninja on the pitch yesterday.
You did, yeah.
But yeah, I thought Elliot Lee was like the turning on the pitch and getting the ball and one of the players, and it was he played really well yesterday. So I don't really have an opinion in regards to who I would rather, because I know that's you're going to ask me that question next. Who would you rather?
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion with those two, because I think they are both excellent players.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because Elliot Lee's been playing quite really well recently. We know Jordan Davis will always play well and give his all when he comes on. It's an awkward one because they're both very good players, and it's a bit unfortunate to have one of them sitting on the bench. But the system that we play dictates we can only have one of them on, unfortunately. Because Davis and Lee, they're the same sort of player, really.
What formation was there yesterday? Because I forgot to ask you this yesterday.
Ours? Same as we always do. Yeah. So let's not get bogged down with the whole. Let's not talk about formation again. But let's just talk about the middle. So the middle two, you'll have Young is the holding player. He sits in, he breaks stuff up, and that's what he does really well.
Yeah.
James Jones is the hair, as I've talked about before. Hair is in. Rabbit hair.
Yeah, see, when you
you did ask me that before. Yeah, rabbit hair, not hair on your head. He's the hair, so he will run and break the play, and he did.
Crikey, did he run yesterday?
Yeah, he did. And then you've got Elliot Lee, who's more of the attacking one of them three. So that's how it works. Jordan Davis would come in and he would replace Lee, and he would be the more forward-thinking attacking player out them two. So it's disappointing that we don't see Jordan that much at the moment. I dare say he's going to get his run in the team. You know,
so.
It's the whole point of having this strength in depth, is that you can switch it up without being detrimental to the team.
How do you think Parky's doing at the moment? In regards to, like, you know, the way that we're playing, he's obviously got a massive,
it's fine. I think he's managing expectations well. I think, you know, a team like Aldershot, I mean, we both, on our predictions, we went for bigger wins than we did. 2-0 against Aldershot. You could understand people being a little bit frustrated with that, maybe, because you'd expect to maybe put a few more past them.
Yeah, I get that, but a win's a win.
It is, but I think, you know, sometimes it's the manner of victory as well. And I'm not saying there was anything wrong with the manner of victory yesterday. I'm just saying, you know, it's you could see where people get a little bit frustrated. As long as we're picking up points, that's all that matters.
I can't see why people get frustrated, but yeah, okay.
So Darren got in touch on Facebook. He did say that it was a very dominant performance yesterday, and we agree with you, Darren. I think we did our job. We took our foot off the gas a little bit towards the end. They hit the bar as well, didn't they? And they held on to the ball quite a bit. The press wasn't really there towards the end. We just sort of let them have the ball and go, there you go, you just pass it around, you know. They didn't create much. But like I say, they hit the bar, and that was about as close as they came, really. They didn't really force. We had this conversation where we said Howard made a couple of saves. I mean, they were very routine saves, I would say. They weren't like, oh, that's a good save. You know what I mean?
This is the thing with Mark Howard. You just think, I wonder if he gets bored, because obviously
most goalkeepers.
Because we were so dominant on the pitch yesterday, on Saturday, sorry, that we, you know, it was like, what? It's just like they're going, oh, what time is it? You know, is it time to finish yet?
Maybe.
So sometimes you feel a bit sorry for him. You think, oh, you know what? I'd like him to get to this end just to give Mark a little bit of a run.
No, but you know, if you got, I mean, that's not something to worry about. Your goalkeeper being bored, is it? You want your goalkeeper.
You do want your goalkeeper, yeah. You
do. So yeah, it's one of them really. But another good 3 points. Happy, top of the league. What more can you ask for?
I know.
I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who could ask for more, but it is what it is.
Should we move on to the news?
We will move on to the news, yes.
What would you like to start with today?
I would like to just start with, sorry, stumbling through, Southend.
Yes.
So we'll talk a little bit about Southend. There's a lot of news this week, a lot of stuff that we want to get through, so we won't dwell on any point too long. I say now. So Southend, for anybody who doesn't know, Southend United are in a little bit of trouble at the moment. So they've got an owner who, for whatever reason, the club are quite close to going into administration. There's a lot of players and staff at Southend who haven't been paid their wages or are not getting their wages paid on time. So the supporters have stepped in and created a GoFundMe page to basically get the money. We are just around, Christmas is just around the corner, and these staff members are not getting paid. So they set up a GoFundMe page to try and get as many people to donate as possible. We've donated, haven't we? We put a little bit of money in. And one thing that a lot of them have said is they're quite overwhelmed with the level of support from Wrexham fans, to be honest. I think it's mainly because of we've been there. We know what it's like to have to raise money to save your club. So, you know, anybody who wants to donate, yes, they're rivals, but you have to sort of put that to one side a little bit, because you have to, you know, football is such an outlet for people. I think I put this on Twitter this week. It's such an outlet for people. You don't want that getting taken away from them. So anything that you can give, we'll put a link to their GoFundMe page down in the description. Last time I checked, they were around the £20,000 mark, and I think they're aiming for about 25. So, you know, as anybody that can give anything, it's you know, like I say, put rivalries to one. It's easy for you to say, rivalries to one side, and just try and give a little bit just to help them out. I would say at the moment, and then maybe they'll roll over and let us beat them next year. Doubt it, but anyway. So FA Trophy. So I wanted to touch on this a little bit. So we record on a Sunday, as we've said before. It's released on a Monday. When this goes out on Monday, the draw will be today for you lot. So the draw for the FA Trophy. What do you think about the FA Trophy? Which is, for anybody who doesn't know, the FA Trophy is different to the FA Cup. So the FA Cup is everybody. Premier League, Championship, right the way down to the lower leagues. Everybody is involved. The big clubs come in at round 3. The FA Trophy is just for non-league teams. So basically from Wrexham's league down through the football pyramid. No league teams are involved in the FA Trophy. So, which
is good because they're all in, a lot of them are in Qatar at the moment.
Yeah. So ultimately, what we're saying is Wrexham and people like Notts County and Chesterfield, they are the big teams in
We're
this
like the Premier League.
We're like the Premier League teams in this cup.
Trophy, yeah.
So because of that, we joined the cup in the 3rd round in the same way as the Premier League teams joined the FA Cup in the 3rd round. So the draw is today. We got to Wembley last season.
We did.
Was documented in the documentary. It was horrible because we lost.
It's a good day though.
It was. So it was a good day. But you know, check out what who we've drawn in the cup, or if if you've listened to this early enough, it's to come.
I'll probably put it on our socials anyway when it's drawn anyway. So
what do you think about the FA Trophy then?
I think it is another distraction.
Another distraction.
Another distraction.
So what would you rather, go out or get to Wembley again and have another day out at Wembley?
I enjoyed Wembley. I really, really did. But I don't want a day out at Wembley to be detrimental to the
promotion
focus, which is ultimately promotion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of them. It's like, we're not just going to roll over and let the other team win. We're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that. And it's one of them. We're the big boys in this competition, so you sort of want to flex a little bit and go, "This is why we're here."
We're here, yeah.
And we've got all this media attention on us. You don't really want to be losing any game at any point to anybody.
No,
do you
whatever you're doing.
So,
yeah,
no, it's an awkward one. But yeah, I'm very much. We went to Wembley last season. We don't get to Wembley this season. So be it. As long as we get promoted, I'm sure we'll have
we'll get to Wembley again.
I'm sure we'll have many days at Wembley in the future.
Yeah.
We don't need to be going year upon year to Wembley just for a one-off game to win some cup that nobody really cares about. I think is
exactly, yeah.
When it's going to be, if that's going to be detrimental to us.
You have to put things into perspective, don't you? It's like a trophy, which, like you said, do people really care about it, or getting up to the next league?
Yeah, definitely for me.
Yeah.
So, a few other things that have happened this week. So, WXM clothing has launched. So, Ollie Palmer's clothing line, that's launched. A lot of the stuff sold out quite quickly. We've ordered some stuff.
We've ordered some stuff.
We're excited for that to arrive. Anybody who wasn't aware of this, if you go on the Wrexham WXM clothing website, search them out on Twitter, they're on everything.
They're on everything.
Yeah. Search them out. If you would rather see the clothes in person, they're selling them in the club shop.
Yes.
We saw them. We went to the club shop on Saturday and we saw them there.
Don't
think they've got loads still
available.
I think they've
got quite a few children's hoodies and things like that.
Yes.
But yeah, the majority of it, I think, has probably gone on the first day of launch.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks really good quality stuff. But I'm not going to talk too much about it. We will mention it next week on the podcast
because hopefully we'll have our
we'll have had our clothes delivered, and then we might even stick it on for the podcast.
100%, I am.
Yeah,
can't wait.
So you had a little chat with somebody this week, didn't you? On Instagram. Who was that, Sian?
Well, Ryan, it wasn't really a chat, but Mark Howard.
Yeah, so
I'm just sliding into just beware, because I'm sliding into them, all your DMs.
She's coming for you.
I'm coming for you.
So yeah, you had a little quick chat with Mark Howard, and he basically said that he's got a podcast as well.
Well, no, this is how it went.
No.
This is how it went. Basically, he shared on his stories that he had a podcast.
Okay.
And, go over and subscribe.
Yeah.
And obviously listen. So what I did was I messaged him and I just said, heading over to your page now to subscribe. you know, basically, could you be so kind as to do the same for me
Yeah.
and Ryan?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, we've all got to grow. You know, of course, mate, he called me, but I don't know whether they think that's you messaging.
Oh, it doesn't matter
But who cares?
We are a collective. We are as one.
Yeah, but I do all the social media. Joking. So he went over and he actually did a screenshot and he subscribed to our YouTube. So basically, we have got our first Wrexham player.
Well, we don't know that. We know of what we are saying is we have one Wrexham player
that we know of,
that we are aware of, who subscribed to us. So thank you very much, Mark, if you're listening.
Yes, it's very exciting.
It is, but I'm not going to make a habit of promoting other people's podcasts on our podcast. Although I will, on this occasion, I will make an exception. So his podcast is called Yours, Mine, Away, like a goalkeeper. Yours, mine, away. Basically.
I never knew what that meant.
Yeah, so it's the Yours, Mine, Away podcast. So you can download that. He's on YouTube. He's on wherever you usually get your podcasts as well. I've had a little listen. It's pretty good. I was quite shocked, to be honest. I was shocked when I spoke to you, wasn't I? Because I listened to episode 1 of the podcast. He's got bloody Aaron Ramsdale on there, and I was like, Aaron Ramsdale. For anybody who doesn't know, Aaron Ramsdale plays for Arsenal. He's the first choice goalkeeper at Arsenal, and Arsenal are currently top of the Premier League. So, in effect, they are the best team in England at this moment in time. He is also in England's squad for the World Cup. So it's no slouch. He's got proper guests on there. So
Mark Howard's got connections.
He has, to be fair to him. So give that a listen. See what you think. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Couple of little bits to touch on with regards to the podcast itself. So we spoke about a world map before, didn't we? So we've got a world map. So we'll put it up on the screen now if you're on YouTube. So we've been listened to in 40 countries around the world, which is amazing.
Yes.
That weirdly, 40 countries only makes up 16% of the countries in the world. So where the hell are the other 84%? Hurry up and listen, please. But no, that's amazing. We've got the usual ones. We're actually more popular in America than we are in the UK. So thank you very much for all the thousands and thousands of times this podcast has been listened to and downloaded. There's, I think, 48% of all of them thousands of downloads are in the US.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that. The ones you would expect. So we've got the UK in there. We've got Canada. Then I think it's Australia, New Zealand. They're the ones you would sort of expect to be at the top. The ones after, Ireland as well, that's in the top 5 or 6 as well.
Yep.
You would expect that. The ones after that are a little bit crazy because then you go Finland.
Caledonia?
No, they're down there. New Caledonia is a new one this week. So hello, if that's you. Finland, hello Finland. They're like number 6 or 7
it's like
on the chart.
Eurovision.
I know. But then it's like Germany, Barbados. So hello to everybody, and thank you very much for listening. It is really cool, to be honest, and we never thought it'd be this wide-reaching.
And even Alfie thinks we're pretty cool at the moment.
Yeah, our son does think we're cool, which is, I'll take that.
We'll take that.
I'll take that. There's not going to be many occasions where he thinks that.
No.
And then talking of America, so of the 50 states in America, we have been listened to in 47 of them.
It's amazing.
So we've only got 3 states that we haven't been listened in.
One Arkansas, Maine, and North Dakota.
North Dakota.
We've got South Dakota, just North Dakota.
If anybody who's listening who knows anybody in any of them states, please get them to listen so we can complete our little map. Please, that would be lovely.
Do you know what, this getting all the US states, it's like the World Cup sticker book.
It is, yeah.
And we've only got 3 more stickers to get.
Yes, so a few other little bits to go through. So I'm obviously doing Movember this year. I just wanted to say the link to sponsor me will be down in the description on YouTube.
You're doing pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah, we're getting there slowly. And I just want to say a quick thank you to Andy who's a fan of the show, and also Jennifer and Glenn.
Yes.
I had a chat with all of them yesterday. They've sponsored me. Thank you very much. Anybody wants to sponsor me, there's a link down in the description for that.
Good cause.
Yes. We had a little chat about Son Heung-min today, didn't we?
Yes, or Sonny as he's known.
Sonny, yeah.
Sonny.
So basically, he's a massive Wrexham fan.
Apparently so.
So he is definitely getting a message on Twitter after this, but he's obviously in the World Cup at the moment. Elliot Lee mentioned it in his interview. So him, Paul Mullin and Ollie Palmer tried to do the tried to do the old sort of camera
to the eye.
It's one of them. So camera to the eye celebration, which is Son Heung-min's.
I think Ollie Palmer put it to his mouth.
I think Paul Mullin was all over that. I think he did something like that.
I think Elliot Lee is the only one that did it right.
He did. But it's cool having famous. Famous. I mean, we do have famous, but to have other footballers actively looking out for us and supporting us.
Do you know what? I think that's a lot. Like you said the other day, since you watched the Sunderland documentary, you do purposely have a look to see how they're getting on.
Yeah, and if they're on Sky or anything, I'll watch Sunderland.
Which I think that's probably the same for us now. You know, we've had this documentary, and I think people are pretty much like
very much so.
Yeah,
very
cool.
much so. Something that we have to talk about is so we've seen it on Twitter. It's been brewing around for a while. I've seen on Twitter for the game on Saturday. So the Farnborough game, which we're going to talk about in a second. We have some guests coming over, don't we?
57 of them.
57 Canadians are making the trip to Wrexham next week to come and watch the game. My understanding is they're going to be sitting in the university end.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to guess we're going to see 57 Canadians in the turf on Saturday.
They've definitely said they're going to the turf.
It's in the turf. That is amazing. So welcome to you. If any of the 57 listen to the podcast, welcome. And we would love to meet you all and have a drink. Talking of Canadians, we have Drew, who we've mentioned previously on the podcast.
Yep.
He is also coming over on Saturday as well. He is Canadian. He's not part of the 57.
We don't think he is.
We don't think he is, maybe, or we don't know. But he is basically... So there might be 59 Canadians.
Yes.
Any more Canadians, get in touch, let us know. So we're going to meet up with Drew. We'll point him in the direction of the other 57 Canadians that he's been travelling around Europe.
Yes.
And
he's one that went to watch Barcelona, wasn't he?
He is, yeah, yes. I think so, unless we're getting them mixed up with somebody else. I'm pretty sure that's him.
Oh my God.
Oh, I don't know. We get so many people getting in touch, we get confused. No, so we're going to meet up with Drew next week, so we're excited for that. Drew, I will drop you a little email, because we've been conversing via email.
Yes.
We will sort out
Very modern.
Yeah, so we'll be sorting out some times when we can meet up and stuff like that. So it is exciting. One last thing, just on the news.
Oh, okay.
Two things.
Okay.
On the news.
Okay.
I'm just trying to keep it moving, because we've got so much to talk about. It's like an information film, as this is.
And after we can breathe.
Yeah. So York tickets went on sale this week.
They did. We've got ours.
We got our tickets.
I was a bit scared, wasn't I, that we weren't going to get our tickets.
What do you think of the e-ticketing site?
Personally, I've not had any issues.
No,
I've always literally gone. I mean, I panicked a little bit because I was like, "Where the hell are we supposed to be sitting?"
You kept messaging me going, where should I go? And I was like, just get one anywhere.
So I don't even know whereabouts I'm sitting.
No, I tell you what annoys me about the e-ticketing site a little bit is the fact that there's 4 of us who are going, right? So I wanted to buy the 4 tickets all together. Yeah. When I went on to try and buy 4 tickets all together, it wouldn't let me.
No, because it's got a ticket reserved, hasn't it?
It wouldn't. No. It wouldn't let me buy 4 tickets together in one section. With every section I clicked on going, there is no tickets. There is no tickets. When I changed it to 1 ticket, let me buy it straight away.
Yeah.
So I know away games are very much. A lot of them are very much sit where you want. Just sit where you want. You've got your ticket. Come in. Sit where you want. That
causes me anxiety, though.
Yeah, but it's fine. Just sit where you want. But if you're going by the letter of the law and you're you know, you'll have the whole "you're sitting in my seat" brigade who are there.
Oh, somebody said that brigade's not allowed to be.
No, they're not. They're
not allowed there.
They're not allowed there. But you know, if you went in, they enforced you have to sit where you've got your ticket. Well, we've got a 10-year-old who's in a completely different section to us. Do you know what I mean?
No chances he's sitting on his own.
So, that's the strange thing about the e-ticketing site is what they've allowed there. They've allowed a 10-year-old to go on and buy a ticket to sit without any supervision, which is odd to me. I know what away games are like. I know you can sit where you want, you know, the majority of the time. But it's a bit odd that they will allow that to happen, and they wouldn't let me. I tried to buy 4 tickets, wouldn't let me. Tried to buy 2 tickets. Everyone's linked. Before anybody gets in touch, yes, I know how to set my network up. Everybody is linked. I can buy tickets for everybody. That's all done. It just wouldn't let me do it.
Just this occasion, it wouldn't.
So it annoys me sometimes.
So we're all basically not sitting together. Well, we will.
Suits me. No, we will be. We will be. It's fine. One final piece of news, and then we'll have a quick chat about Farnborough. So there is the Junior Dragons Christmas party. So do you know what the Junior Dragons... you could probably guess what the Junior Dragons Christmas party is, but this is the first one since COVID, basically. They used to do it every year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on the Sunday, the 4th of December. Now,
the day after the away game to York.
Yes. So it is open to all junior members, okay? It is free of charge, but you have to book your place, okay? To book your... And remember, this is for junior members. So you do this on the e-ticketing site as if you're buying a ticket. The exact same way, you have to be a member because it's the Junior Dragons members.
So obviously season ticket holders are automatically members.
Automatically members as well. Yeah. So they're doing 3 parties. So there's one for 3 to 7-year-olds, which is from 10 to 11:30. Then it's 8 to 11-year-olds from 12 to 1:30, and then 12 to 16-year-olds from 2 to 3:30. Okay, it's children only at the parties, so adults can drop them off and pick them up, but they leave them there. Basically, it's drop off and pick up. The reason they've done that is trying to maximise the amount of children they can get in without having to worry about accommodating adults.
Yeah.
Fully trained people looking after the kids, by the way. You can drop them off, have an hour to, I don't know,
Christmas shopping,
have a cry, whatever it is you need to do. You'll have an hour and a half away from your children. But yeah,
have a cry.
You can meet Santa. They'll meet Santa. They will meet a Wrexham player.
Oh, do you reckon I can pull off being a 16-year-old?
You're small enough, but no, I don't think so.
I think the wrinkles give it away.
So you get to meet Santa, a Wrexham player, and you get a gift.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I know.
Junior Dragon.
So as I say, it's free of charge, but you have to book a ticket. Okay, and you do that from Tuesday on the e-ticketing website. It is first come, first serve. The same way as it is with tickets.
Have they given an allowance of tickets?
No, they haven't said how many there is. But
so literally, if you want one, get in there quick.
Get early.
If it's anything like the games,
yes,
go really quick.
So Tuesday for that one. So
Farnborough.
Don't want to talk about Farnborough too much because we're going to talk about them quite a bit. So we saw Parky at Braintree this week. Quite a tough job, a manager's job, isn't it? A lot of travelling around, watching your opponent.
Where does he live?
He lives... I'm not going to say on air. I'll tell you after.
Well, I mean, in regards to Braintree.
Well, Braintree's in Essex.
So away.
He lives around Wrexham somewhere.
Does he?
Yeah, I'll tell you where he lives later.
Do you know exactly where he lives?
I've got a rough idea, yeah. I have never been to his house or anything, but I've got an idea where he lives. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's move on. It sounds a bit stalkerish.
It does a little bit, sorry.
So, about it, Notts County were due to play in the league when we were playing in the cup.
Which we were worried about, weren't we?
We were worried about, and we had a big piece about it, but then we didn't need to worry.
Because Andy told us this, didn't he,
Andy told us this. Barnet did us a huge favour. Because Barnet were in, who Notts County were due to play in the league, have actually won their replay, their FA Cup replay, so they're now in the second round as well. So that means Notts County have got a week off.
They have. Oh, they got a week off.
This is my question, solely for you to answer. So, how do you weigh this up? So it's a rest week for them. Yep. They don't have a game for 2 weeks.
Will they be training in this week, though?
Of course they will.
Okay.
What is there an argument? Is it rest or is it too much rest? How do you view it?
Personally, if they're training, I don't regard it as rest.
Not a game, though.
Yeah, but
it's still classed as rest.
Okay.
Is 2 weeks in the middle of a season too long to not have a competitive game in your view?
Well, yeah, I guess it is, but you could say that was the same as the Premier League players that aren't in
the World Cup. Yeah, you could do.
Are they going to be the same?
But we don't care about them.
No, I know we don't. But I'm just saying it's the same sort of principle.
For me, I think it's a long time to not have a competitive fixture.
What? So you think they'll
be very rested? Yeah, well done.
Yeah, but then you can
rested doesn't win you games, does it? Competitive edge wins you games. Yeah, so
we don't want them to win games, though.
No, I know we don't, but I'm just saying. I was just interested in what you thought about which side of the coin.
I guess you could say that they're, when they have the rest, they might take their foot off the pedal.
Maybe.
Is that a football term?
It is, yeah. If you like, yeah. No, it is. I'm joking with you. Prediction.
Oh, see, we failed a little bit this week, didn't we? For the Aldershot game.
Yeah, we did.
We kind of didn't, because usually we do the 4-0, 5-0, whatever, but we did a 1.
Yeah.
Which they didn't get in the end. No. But I'm going to go for, I'm going to go 5-0.
5-0.
It's going to be, do you know what it's going to be? I predict it's going to be another Dover game.
No.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no. I take that back.
God, you're having a conversation with yourself now.
Oh, no, I take that back because they actually scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 5-0.
5-0.
5-0.
I'm going to say FA Cup game. I fancy him to grab one, I do fancy him to sort of shock us a little bit. Maybe even go 1-0 up. I'm going to go for 3-1. 3-1 Wrexham.
Okay.
Okay. Now, yes, this is a Wrexham podcast. Everybody is correct. But we are obviously Welsh. And it would be amiss of us not to mention the World Cup. We don't have a lot of time left, but we have to bring it up. And we want to say, we wish you the very best in Qatar at the moment.
First game on Monday.
First game, well, today.
Tonight.
So fingers crossed for that one. Ryan's behind us. He wants us to smash the USA, who we're obviously playing on Monday.
Oh, yeah, because he's obviously Canadian,
He's Canadian. So to all of our American listeners and watchers,
good luck.
Good luck, but not too much luck, eh?
Can I just quickly interject?
Yeah.
I put a tweet on basically about I said, what a year would it be if Wrexham AFC promoted and Wales won the World Cup?
Yeah.
Somebody, David Camp, I think his name was, he commented on that and he said, if you could only choose one, what would it be? And for me, this might be very controversial, but I said for Wrexham to be promoted. I know that we haven't been in the World Cup for 64 years, but I'm invested in Wrexham, so, and I don't care that much about the football, the World Cup. Sorry,
that's a disgusting question, really.
It is a very hard question, but I answered it and said Wrexham.
I would like to say Wrexham, but at the same time, I think if Wales get in a position where, say, they got to the semis. Ask me that question if we get to the semi-finals.
I'll ask you in a few weeks.
Yeah, you do that,
or whenever the semi-final is.
I think next week we're gonna have a little bit of a section where we talk a little bit more about the World Cup, because I've got a few questions that I want to put to you about the World Cup. And then next week we will have already played the USA. We already would have played Iran. When we record the podcast will be the day before the England game, which is the big game. So I would like to do more of a section about the World Cup while we're in the midst of it, as such, instead of just before. We've got our Wales shirts on for anybody listening to the podcast. I think I might be wearing it next week as well.
I might be wearing my Ollie Palmer outfit.
Yeah, maybe.
That
Yeah, well,
weird.
yeah.
I'll be wearing his skin.
Like you've got an Ollie Palmer suit that you have and you keep in the cupboard. Yes. Yeah. No. So no, we'll definitely, because somebody asked, are you gonna sort of recognise the World Cup? Are you just gonna be focused on Wrexham?
We can't not recognise it.
We can't not, which is why we've got our Wales tops on today. But as I say, we'll have a bit more of an in-depth conversation about the World Cup next week. There's a few questions I wanted to ask you about the World Cup.
I'm not sure I'd be able to answer them. But
No. I'm interested to know your opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, we'll do that next week. And
Shall I just give you a little, before we go into the people who contacted us, a little bit of a rundown of Farnborough, the information that I found. I haven't got too much detail.
No, yeah, if you want to.
So they're in the National League South. They're currently 15th. Yeah. Last season they promoted from the Southern League.
Yeah.
At the playoffs.
Yeah.
And their last few results, I could only be bothered finding 2. So they played Dartford at home and they won 3-1.
Yeah.
And they played Braintree away, which is obviously
we know that,
where what's his face went down to see. They 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it really. The information that I got.
I think we sort of talked about this. It's not worth too much delving too much into their form, because ultimately this is a cup competition, and the cup competition means anything goes. Anything goes. We would be a huge scalp for them, and they're going to play out their skin, and knockout football is so much different to everyday run-of-the-mill football. So, a couple of people who got in touch this week. We had Tim Yockey, who said it was on Facebook. He said, "Great show for us newbie American fans."
Yes.
Thank you very much, Tim. Obviously, we spoke about Drew, who got in touch this week. Do you feel like a sense of duty to people because you're like a newbie?
Yeah.
And a lot of people that listen are newbies. Do you feel like a sense of duty to them to help them through it in the same way that you're going through it?
I do, but I don't think I'm I'm qualified at the moment to kind of do that. I think whenever we get questions, I always go, Ryan, and I get you to reply, because I don't want to give them incorrect information, because obviously I'm still learning at the moment as well. So I do feel like, they're coming on the journey with me. Yeah. But
Cool.
I've got a couple of people that have contacted us quickly. We've got Spry1 Deronin. I'm really sorry if I've said that wrong.
I think we've mentioned you twice and we said your name different both times.
Yeah. So he got in touch on YouTube on the last episode, and he said he enjoyed the podcast again this week. His son, he said his son and I both not shaving this month in support of fighting colon cancer. And he's put love the bios.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means.
That was the quiz last week.
The bios.
Yeah.
Yes. And then finally we have Sam Bosworth, who messaged us today. You two are the best. Well, me and my dad love watching the podcast together. My dad is Welsh but grew up in Abingdon, and I'm from Texas and spent time in Abingdon and Oxfordshire as a young one. And we recently watched a documentary and fell in love with the entire town of Wrexham, and are watching every game we can get in the States. And you two have such a nice companion show to everything Wrexham AFC. And and getting to know you guys is the best, because you guys are great. I mean, basically, he was just saying how great we are.
Yeah, well, we've got to read that one out, haven't we?
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh no, that's brilliant. Thank you very much to everyone who gets in touch.
And hopefully Sam and his, I actually don't know if it's a he or she. I'm really sorry, Sam. Yeah. If you could just let us know if you're a male or female. But they are planning to come over to a Wrexham game, so hopefully we'll get to meet them as well.
That'd be brilliant. Yeah,
at some
really
point.
Good. So we're on to quiz.
Yes.
The bios were such a success last week.
Were they?
Yeah. No. Everyone loved them.
Yeah.
So I've done some more bios.
God.
Don't worry, this will be the last week I do bios, because I'll run out of players.
Okay.
So this is the last week, but...
Oh, so it literally is exactly the same, but with different players?
Yeah.
Oh,
I spent loads of time on this.
Did you?
So this is bios part 2, okay?
Bios part 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
No.
Born in Plymouth in 1992, he spent 2 years of his youth career... See, I've taken birthdays out because I knew you've been studying the birthdays. Just got the year. Born in Plymouth in 1992, he spent 2 years of his youth career at his hometown club, Plymouth Argyle, before he was signed by Swindon. It wasn't long before he was snapped up by Newcastle at the age of 17, where he spent 3 years but only made 1 appearance. This defender stands at 6 feet 3 inches tall, and Wrexham aren't the only Welsh club he has played for, as he played 62 games for Newport County from 2016 to 18. His first name means a high mountain or mountain peak in Scottish culture. He's not Scottish, by the way, it's just thrown that in.
Oh my gosh. Jacob Mendy.
6'3".
Oh, Ollie Palmer. Oh, 6'3". Oh, Jordan Tunnicliffe.
So you're going for Jordan Tunnicliffe?
No, because I can tell by your faces.
You can't go around the whole team. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's Ben Tozer.
Oh God, yes, of course, it's Ben Tozer.
So his first name means high mountain or mountain peak in Scottish culture. Ben Nevis.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe listen a bit closer.
Yeah, you too. Yeah.
Number 2. Born in Ivybridge in 1993, this player also spent their youth career at Plymouth Argyle, where he was from the age of 9 until he signed for Devon rivals Torquay in 2014. He has made 174 appearances for Wrexham, scoring 19 goals.
19 goals. Aaron Hayden. No?
You're terrible at this.
Oh, well, I don't know. Jordan Tunnicliffe. I don't know who scored goals. I can't think. My brain's just gone. Oh, Ollie Palmer.
Played 174 games for Wrexham.
Luke Young.
174 games.
Luke Young.
It's Luke Young.
I got it right. Can I have that? I got it right.
You can have that. Listen.
I am listening.
Born in Southwark, London, this player came through the youth ranks at Arsenal. His most notable games are playing in an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley, where his team Sheffield United lost to Hull, and a League Cup semi-final against Tottenham, where they were only knocked out by a last-minute Christian Eriksen goal. He has played under Phil Parkinson once before when he was at Bolton, and was signed for a second time by the gaffer in the summer of 2022 from Carlisle.
Summer 2022. Sam Dalby.
No.
Jordan Tunnicliffe.
No.
Jake Bickerstaff.
This Mark Howard. I'll move on.
Please don't ever do these again.
This left-footed player was born just outside Sheffield in 1994. He is another player who has played under Phil Parkinson before while at Sunderland. This player has experience of winning the league when he was part of Bury's 2019 League 2 title-winning team, as well as winning promotion with Plymouth the following season. It's quite Plymouth heavy, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
He has a nickname which has the following description in the dictionary: an intense and widely shared enthusiasm for something, especially one that is short-lived. A craze.
Callum McFadzean.
It is McFadzean. The description is fads. So, fad, that's it. It's clever. Aren't I clever? I'll move on.
Wow.
This is the last one, I think. Oh, yes, it is the last one. So you've got 2.
That's good.
With a bit of help, but 2.
Shut up now.
This Epsom-born player became an instant hero when he scored in his racecourse debut in a 1-0 win in January. He has played for 12 different clubs during his career, including 13 games for the team he scored against on his Wrexham debut. He's also played for National League rivals Woking and Boreham Wood, and the team his granddad played for, AFC Wimbledon. His first name has a dictionary definition of, in skateboarding, a jump performed without the aid of a takeoff ramp.
Ollie Palmer.
Ollie Palmer! Well done.
How many questions were there?
5.
I got 3 right.
You did. I mean, if I'd have taken your first answer, no, but we'll be a little bit lenient and we'll give you 3 out of 5. Well, thank you very much for tuning in again this week.
I'm going to go cry now.
It has been fun, as always. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time this week.
Thank you.
So join us again next week, where we'll have a little section about the World Cup, as we said, and Wales at the World Cup. We'll discuss that in a little bit more detail. We'll talk about the Farnborough game as well, and we'll look forward to York.
Yes, a little trip away to York.
A little trip away to York. So thank you very much for tuning in this week, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.